This is the 3-meter men's. We are just about to start the competition, and yeah, welcome. We are excited to have you here on the live stream. And my name is Espen Valheim, and I am joined here by my former diving colleague and now coach,
Matthew Roberts.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the intro.
You're welcome.
How's your day been here at the pool?
Amazing.
Yeah. Some good stuff going on, isn't there?
There have been so many dives, and we are expected to see a lot more.
Well, yeah, they've saved the best till last now, pretty much, haven't
Yes, they have. We are going to see some high-risk, high-reward dives here, and hopefully we will see them being rewarded with some great scores from the judges. Here we go. We have Jacob, and that is a nice takeoff. He is perfect length from the board.
Yeah, some good balance there. Just couldn't quite finish the entry, but there's some real positive stuff in that one.
Yes, and now we have, next up, it looks like the Swedish Diver. There seems to be a slight
technical hitch, I think.
Technical difficulty, yes. They will have to manually submit the scores for a little bit. And now we have the Swedish diver Elias. Very gracious diver. Great technique. Very fluent in his form.
And he's doing the same dive as the last competitor.
Inward 2.5 pike. Let's see.
Oh, so strong, isn't it?
Yeah, that is perfect distance from the board. It's a great pike position.
Maybe could have just got a little bit more hands on the water there, but
still a great dive.
Great dive.
A great way to start the competition for Elias from Sweden. So you are from the UK, aren't you?
I am indeed, and look who we've got next.
We've got Cameron Gamage. He's been here a couple of times, and every single time he's been to Bergen Open, he does not cease to amaze with his progression and his advancement on the harder and harder dives.
Very much a crafty veteran here in the Bergen competition.
And still being so young.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So much more left in the tank, I think. Same dive, inward 2.5 pike. Not too bad. Good power, just maybe drifted a little bit backwards there, which made the dive slightly hard to complete on the end.
Great pike position, a little bit early out, and he doesn't get all the way around.
Yeah.
But still some great scoring. Still manages, I would reckon, above, there we go, 57 points, and he takes the 4th place.
You can't, I mean, you know, 6.5.
No, he takes the 1st place.
6.5s on the first dive. I mean, that's just a good opener there.
But yeah.
Looks like everybody's starting with inward so far.
Starting with a standstill hurdles.
That's it.
Do you reckon it's because of the nerves, trying to start slow and then kick off with a bang?
I think so, and especially when they're doing all difficult dives, you don't want to jump straight into that hurdle. It's better to just start with your arm swing.
Yeah.
Oh, smooth.
Great height on it, a nice tuck position, and what an entry.
And you see he's using it in tuck position there. Slightly easier, but you can see why.
Yeah. And this is the high-risk, high-reward, as we were talking about. We have Pierre from Switzerland doing an easier dive, but producing higher scores. And that has paid off, hasn't it? Now we've got from Sweden, we've got Eric, but he has withdrawn from the competition. So just a quick technical pause to remove him from the competition.
We just take a second to look at this beautiful facility here.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable.
Opened in 2014, and it has been a dream to dive here for several years and coach. And so glad that so many divers have joined us here for the Bergen Open. Now we're going to see Richard.
See, and maybe that's what we're talking about with the hurdle. Just jumping straight in, like I say, to the hurdle 2.5 pike, and just lost his balance there.
A great recovery.
Yeah.
He gets right up and down, and not a lot of distance from the board, and a nice entry.
Yeah, I mean, scores are pretty good on that, considering.
And now here we have one heck of a diver. He is from Finland. I have been diving with this guy for many years, and he never ceases to amaze with his power and his elegance of producing that power without any effort.
That's it. I've had the joy of coaching him as well occasionally at competitions, and just such a hard-working guy.
And such a great guy as well.
Yeah.
Starting off with an inward as well.
So consistent. Again, not wowing the crowd too much with the entry, but you can just see.
Yeah, look at that height.
So high.
And he gets all the way around, straight up and down, missing the entry a little bit, but still sevens across the board for Juha.
Our current 1 meter champion as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he amazed us with his last dive yesterday and turned the entire resulting list upside down. And now we have the powerful Darius of Austria.
Yeah, this guy's very strong. Starting with the back 2.5 pike. Oh, again, maybe just too strong there.
Yeah, you can see the height he produces and the ease of the rotation. Buckles up his knees a little bit too early, which gives him that late turnover on the end.
That's it. And maybe an interesting selection of dive there, using the backward spin instead of a forward or an inward.
Yeah, it's a harder one to control, but still. Maybe he just wanted to get that dive out the way, and focus on the other ones.
Yeah, not quite what he wanted there to open up, but I mean, there's 5 more rounds left. It's a long game, isn't it?
Yep, nothing's said and done. And here we have our Lithuanian diver, Sebastian. And he is also going with an inward 2.5 pike. Seems to be the standard of opening dives to get a hold of those nerves under control and get the competition underway.
You just want to feel comfortable starting off, don't you?
Yeah. I had a more traditional way of doing it. I started always with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, like with the numbers?
Yes.
Oh. And that one, yeah. Again, inward 2.5 pike, not quite as high as the other guys on that one. Slightly lower, and you can just see it on the entry there. Just could not complete the rotation.
But look at that pike position. He's squeezing those legs as tight as he can into his body.
Definitely a great effort.
And he is rewarded of the judges with a 5.5, 4.5. And we should also mention that we have the FINA judging school here taking their exam on the almost every single competition here.
And I mean, you look at the poolside there, it looks like there's about 40 judges. It's so many.
Yes. So the main judges are up on the chairs, the high chairs, and the FINA judging school is sitting closer to the pool.
Okay, first forward 2.5 one twist that we've seen in this competition.
Yeah, this is our young diver Arne Rieki from Finland. Lands in on the board, but
again, just starting off on the hurdle and just quite a long way back from the end of the board, which made the dive a little bit too hard to complete. But again, a good effort. It's very hard when the board's quite stiff from back there, isn't it?
Oh yes, I can remember doing that. Okay, and here we go. We've got a backwards 2.5 in tuck position. Easier dive, but let's see if the lower risk rewards him with the highest score. Oh, great technique, and what a powerful punch into the tuck position.
And just so accurate. As soon as he gets to that point where he knows he's in the water, he just kicks strong there. Right.
Yeah. Great spotting there, kicking out his legs and reaching for the water.
Great opener. Good man.
And our last diver of the round, Martin from Norway. is starting with an inward 2.5 tuck position. And that is
so high.
I agree, that is a lovely dive. Great height, great distance from the board.
And, you know, he's the last diver to go. What do you think about the, you know, where you start in the event? What did you prefer doing? Did you prefer just getting it out of the way, like going straight away? Or?
Oh, I tried not to look at the results as the competition was underway, because it would, if I would see that I was leading or I was in a good spot, it would, like, crack up the nerves.
Yes. You want to try and keep the blinkers on, eh?
Try to focus on the task at hand, which is dive by dive, producing the highest score.
And that is a back 2.5 pike, and so sharp. Not a mark on the water there, look at that.
And Jacob from Sweden produces a great back 2.5 pike. That is good to see. Really impressive.
Okay, we have a reverse. 1.5, 2.5 twists.
Oh, wow.
Just looks so easy though, doesn't it?
Yeah, the height he gets on that board, it is a joy to see. Going so high, what a nice position in the twist. Comes out a little late and doesn't fully come out with his arms, so he over-rotates in the end.
It just looks like, obviously the divers get quite a lot of adrenaline in these competitions, so it just looks like there was a bit too much juice on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have Cameron Gamage. Currently training in the States, but he's come back here to dive for Southampton under Coach Lindsay Fraser.
Wow. And who is Lindsay Fraser?
Wow, wow. How can you not know?
Yeah. For our divers, I was not as informed of the diving world.
But Lindsay Fraser is a multi-Olympic coach, many Olympics, and also was an Olympian herself as a diver.
And you can see that in the diving of Cameron. He has a great power, great pike position, comes out a little bit early and lands a bit short.
But he'll be happy with that one, I think.
And here we go. We have... Wow. Amazing. Great length from the board, great height, and what a tuck position.
And we just see exactly the same thing as what he did in the first round, just lower tariff with the tuck shape, but just really smart how he goes in the water, isn't it?
Yeah. The judges are much more happier with his dives, as they are scoring him with almost a point each higher.
Yeah. Okay, we have the Swedish diver. Wow.
Wow, what an entry.
What an answer from the from the last guy. You do, I do, you know?
Whatever you do, I can do better, it seems. And what an entry he responds with. That is going to be a happy Swede. And we have the Finnish Juho Juntila. He is going to do a forward 2.5 full twist, pike position, and this is a sturdy dive from him.
Very sturdy, yes. Not a big DD, so he knows, I think, he can do this quite steadily.
He even does this on 1 meter with ease, so this is going to be a safe dive from him, hopefully.
Oh, so easy.
That
looks
is
like a required, that one, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks so easy and it's so amazing to see. Look at that height. Over the 5 meter, kicks out, great twist position, and just flies into the water with ease.
You know, from watching these competitions before and doing it yourself, what score are we really looking for here? Total score, you know, what would be a good benchmark, do you think?
Well, a good benchmark is to stay on the sevens, but if I think most of them are hoping to get some eights up there, eight and a halves.
Yes. And
Darius from Austria, he is really pushing for it. Answering with the same height as Juho from Finland, and comes out, lets it roll over just a little bit.
Could have just made that a little bit more balance and pike shape there. Might have just helped him out through the water, but a slightly better...
Still a great time. We get 6.5 sevens. And the scoreboard is looking very interesting already.
Not much between them at all.
And now we've got Lithuanian Sebastian with a front 3.5 pike.
That looks like a tough dive for him, that one.
It does, but it is the game.
It's a tough dive, though, isn't it?
It is a tough dive.
Tough for anyone.
And in the game of high risk, high reward, that was a risk.
Sebastian.
No, now we have Arno Rieki from Finland. He is doing inward 2.5 pike.
Yep.
Let's see if he can produce scores like the rest of his competitors. And wow, what a pike position. Lets it roll over a little bit. Comes out a little bit late.
Almost looks like he just tucked that dive to the side there a little bit.
A little bit. Maybe he's hit his feet before.
Playing it safe slightly there. And that just affected him on the entry, I think.
Yeah, the overall impression as well, as you can see from the judges, but still he gets 6, 5.5. Varied score there from the judges. And now we've got Felix Olsen from Sweden doing a reverse 2.5 tuck position.
First reverse that we've seen in this competition.
And that, what a dive. I mean, just wow. What a beautiful tuck position. Straight up, gets his knees into the shoulders and comes out and just disappears in the water.
Absolute slice on that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what we like to see.
Looks like there's something good going on the far side of the pool.
Yeah. Maybe the sun is affecting them.
There's a better vibe.
And we got Martin from Norway doing...
Oh, just too easy. Maybe the pike.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, but obviously we can't change that now.
That is true, but a great power on that guy, and he just rolls it over a little bit too much.
And that's round 2.
That's round 2, and we see on the resulting scores here that the list is starting to pull away with the top 5 and the lower 6 divers. And what a dive!
I tell you, it's that side of the pool. These guys are motoring now, aren't they?
The height and power,
just
rotation.
Out at the water there.
Yeah. It looks like the Swedes are doing something right back in Sweden. We've got his teammate doing the same dive.
Oh, not too bad. I mean, if you watch the hurdle there, we'll see it on the replay, but those feet are right over the end.
Toes straight right over the edge, yeah.
And he still manages to get it in. Obviously, that affected the entry slightly, but you can see that guy knows that dive, eh?
Yeah. Not everyone is as comfortable with that dive as it seems he is.
Yeah.
Just opens up his core and reaches a bit too much on the entry there, but still great pike. That's great height. Now we've got Cameron of the UK. Same dive.
And the same for Cameron as well. You can just see how comfortable he is on that too.
They are upping the game every single dive, watching what the others do and trying to outperform each other. And I would say they are.
100%. It's almost they watch the guy go before and they go, right.
Yeah, great dive from Cameron there. Now we've got Pierre Schaefer of Switzerland doing the back 2.5 tuck position. Again, the high risk, high reward.
It's definitely going for the tactic of quality, easy dives.
Yeah, reaching the highest scores is more important sometimes than doing the hardest dive. And we can see why.
Yeah. Glad we didn't give him the curse on that one.
Oh yes, that's true.
Commentator's curse.
He leans back a little bit and gets some length on it, but that entry is amazing to watch.
You can just see there, he bends his knee slightly under the water and just sort of saves it as he goes through. A little trick there.
A little trick there, yeah. I've used that one many times.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And that is not what we want to see. We have a failed dive there, unfortunately, of Richard. Missed his balance in the hurdle and just had to jump into the water. Could not save.
I think at that point as well, if you attempt the dive with the direction he was facing, it can get dangerous, can't it?
Yes, it would be very dangerous to try that dive, diving towards the pool side. Very unfortunate to see of Richard of Sweden.
And our current leader after the last round, Juho, am I right?
Yeah, that is correct, it seems. Let's see if he is not affected by that former dive, which was scored 0. He is doing a front 3.5 pike position.
Big dive here.
The power and ease of this guy.
Just floats it through. That hurdle is just, it's just seamless, isn't it? And it's just a shame, just slightly over-rotated there on the entry. Almost had a bit of momentum going forwards, but as we say, there's a lot of power to deal with there, isn't there?
That is true, but the pike position is very good. The height is amazing, and he is rewarded. We've got some mixed judging there, but 6.5s across the board for the scores that are left after you take away the highest and lowest judging score.
And here, Darius
with a big dive.
Oh.
Reverse 3.5 tuck position. Let's
Alright.
see if the high risk will reward him with some great scores from the judges.
degree of difficulty, 3.5 here. Oh. It's
Wow.
just, wow, yeah. I mean, again, look at the height on the hurdle. Look how, it's almost up at 7 meter there with the spin. Almost needs to feed his feet to the other side of the pool just to stop that in the end.
That is going to be exciting to watch him be even more, how do you say it? Comfortable with that dive, because he has the power, he has the height, and it's going to be great to see him.
I mean, it's clear these divers try to put their absolute best dives in the competition. Maybe,
Oh, yes,
maybe
definitely.
That's, they're not going to pick ones they know they can't do. So that was just a slight mishap, unfortunately, there.
But that leaves the door open for all the other competitors that want that gold medal.
Yes.
Lithuanian Sebastian does a great job on that back 2.5 pike.
Just a shame he couldn't just accelerate into that pike shape a bit faster, just dropping short.
Yeah, not the same height as the other guys, but he tries his best to get into that tight pike position. And Juho's teammate, Arne Rieki, going for the same dive as Juho, and it's a front 3.5 pike position.
Yeah, you could just see it from the hurdle, slightly going back from the end of the board there. And that just means, again, that, there's a lot of dive to get around if you're spinning towards the water, isn't it?
It is very hard to get the same momentum going, landing such a long way back on the board. But he did a decent job of turning that down, turning that dive right on his head.
Absolutely.
And now we've got Felix from Sweden. He's doing an inward 2.5 tuck position.
Again, in the tuck shape here, so slightly easier. But every single dive we've seen doing this has always paid off, so let's see. Oh, and another one.
Again, Felix shows us why doing an easier dive sometimes is the correct way, as he does an amazing job on this.
These guys are really proving their point at the moment, aren't they?
He should just point his toes a little bit more in the tuck position, and that would produce even higher scores. Now we've got Martin of Norway, living here in Bergen, training here regularly.
You know this guy?
I've been diving with this guy for many years, as I also moved to Bergen and started training before I quit some time ago.
Yeah.
And he does it pike position, and what an entry. Reaches back and just disappears.
This guy knows where he is, the awareness is there, places his feet right in the right place. A bit more form potentially, but there's some sevens, and what more can you ask for?
7 is what we want to see, and I expect the divers to want to see a 7.
Oh, wow.
Great job of Jacob of Sweden here.
Looks like one of the better 3.5 pikes we've seen. Again, not quite nailing the entry, but good height, good shape. Again, yeah, just tilting over slightly, but great job.
Great technique in the air there, pike position. And his teammate Elias is doing the same dive.
No messing around. He just gets straight on with it, doesn't he? Wow.
Great pike as well here. Great height, but he comes out. Looks like he's not too sure where he is in the air, and it makes it roll over, unfortunately. Still decent scoring from the judges with a 5.5, 6.
And these divers have a, you see on the water there, a sprinkler system, so that does help them see the water a little bit easier.
Yes, it would be quite difficult to see the surface of the water if it was completely still. And now we've got an unusual dive, at least what we've seen here. I don't think many people are doing this. It's a reverse 2.5 with 1.5 twist. Let's see what camera can produce.
Oh, wow. Yep. Very, very strong on the hurdle. And you see, just cranks that twist, which makes it easier to get into that pike shape at the end. Maybe a little bit more entry on the water, but, I mean, what a round for Cameron. That's going to move him up a little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
That is really going to give him the medal contention.
And these guys have been training all day. These have been long days for them, so it's great to see this standard so far. Oh. Yep. You can just see a little bit of an error on the board there, which means it just goes loose out the board and can't quite control it in the air, and that's just a little bit short.
Yeah. And now we've got Richard of Sweden. He's doing it the same dive but in tuck position, and let's see if the lower risk rewards him higher. Struggling with the hurdle there, and you hate to see it, but it's part of the game. You always have to do so many minor corrections during the hurdle and in the dive.
And that's the first time we've seen one of the divers using that in the tuck position that hasn't quite put it together, but as we saw, that's a hard hurdle to deal with on that one. Here we have Yuho.
Yuho doing the 2.5 reverse pike position, which I have seen him do many times, and he's very comfortable doing this dive. Let's see if he can produce the scores that we want to see here.
Quite a little bit uncharacteristic there from Yuho. Looks like a good hurdle, but doesn't maybe could have waited for the board a bit longer to make a better pike shape, which means it just over-rotates slightly.
Yeah. You can also see him bending his knees and having difficulties pointing his toes in the beginning there. Yeah. And then we've got Darius of Austria doing the front 2.5 full twist. Easier dive. He does this on 1 meter as well, but let's see if he can control it and get a decent score on it. Great power.
He's just not quite controlling his dives today. See, as Espen says there, really high, great twist, so much time to look for the water, but just tips over.
So much strength on this guy. It is a wonder to see.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Reverse 2.5 pike. And
he nails it.
Very crafty on the end there. Doesn't look that high on the takeoff.
Yeah, not as much strength, but he gets a nice takeoff, great pike position, and the spatial awareness is just great to see.
It's almost sometimes better for the divers to be a bit lower. They can just sort of plop it into the water.
Yeah, control it even better then. And we've got Arne Rieki of Finland doing the same dive. Let's see what he can produce here.
I mean, that's a great effort on the end there.
Yeah.
Looks like he's struggled.
A little bit unbalanced there, yes.
Yeah. And there you see the bent legs again going into the pike. Just makes it quite low on the water, but it could have been worse, couldn't it?
It could have been a zero dive. And unfortunately, it wasn't. He got up and down, and he got 4.5 5s on it.
I think he'll take that one. Okay, slightly easier dive here, but oh wow, look at the finish.
But the hurdle is much more controlled, and he just flies into the air. Great pike position and just disappears in the water. And there we have an 8 of one of the judges.
First one?
First one. Unfortunately, it will be taken out as it is the highest and lowest score will be eliminated. Martin of Norway, reverse 2.5. Tuck position. And what a dive.
And you hear the crowd go wild for that one.
They are enjoying the show that these divers are putting on, and that is a perfect length of the board. What a height on this guy. And the entry just disappears. It's perfect.
Okay, so what round are we on now? Round 5.
Round 5, and Jacob of Sweden is doing a front twister, front 2.5 full twist, pike position. And they are upping their game.
Yeah, here we go.
The competition is nearing its end, and they know they have to do their best now, and hopefully and probably saving the best dives to last.
That's it, yeah, you can see they're using their safer options towards the end of the list. You want to finish strong. And everything to play for.
Yeah. Now we've got Elias doing back 2.5 pike. Great takeoff, easy into the pike position, which is, he is very smooth diver. His technique is very fluent, and then just opens up a bit too early and doesn't get the reach back down for his hands to form before the entry.
Cameron Gamage, currently leading the competition.
Yes, he is.
And he has a forward 3.5 somersaults pikes.
Can he maintain his composure of the hurdle?
Such pressure here with these guys, isn't it?
All the nerves coming in the end. Wow.
Again, the crowd is really getting into this one now.
And it's great to hear the crowd reacting as well, because this is some great diving that we're seeing from these guys. And what a dive from Cameron there.
I mean, I think we can look at that as the dive of the competition so far.
And now we've got our 8s
all over the place.
All over the place, yeah. We're starting to see some more, and it's getting very interesting to see who's going to finish on top of this competition. Going over to Pierre Schaefer of Switzerland. He's doing a reverse 2.5 twister, reverse 1.5 with 2.5 twist.
It's very neat and tidy diver. You look at that hurdle, lovely position when he steps down. And that dive is so smooth. Maybe just could have, again, looked for the water a little bit more, but, I mean, it's 6.5.
6.5. He's got a great dive there. Richard Roop of Sweden. He's doing a forward 2.5 full twist in pike position. The difficulty is 3.0, and this is one of the higher tariff dives. Lands a bit in on the board, and he manages to get all around, a little bit short as he enters the water, not completely vertical.
Just could have had a bit of better board work there to help him on the end, but
still great results on landing.
Great round.
On the board like that.
Yeah.
And then you have Juho Junttila of Finland doing the backwards 2.5 pike.
Now Juho will want to do some good stuff with this one, because Cameron doesn't want to pull away too far. I think he wants to keep up with him, doesn't he?
Yeah, is he saving the best dive for last? Yeah. But let's see what he can do here now. Get that height that we've been seeing from him all competition. And again, the entry is critical. And he delivers a little bit.
Not quite what he would have wanted there in terms of the entry, but you can see it's just so easy still, isn't it?
Yeah, leans back a little bit, and you get that on the end where the feet just rolls over a little bit, too hard to control. But great effort of Juho there.
As I was saying, he hasn't closed that gap, and now Cameron is the front runner in this event.
You can see Cameron running away from his competitors, but still the second and third place is fighting for their lives for that silver medal. But then again, the first medal, the gold medal is not.
Oh, okay. Some good stuff now.
Yeah, Darius is
finding his groove, I think.
Yeah. Producing a great dive here.
It's just a shame he couldn't quite kickstart the competition with this standard, but we're seeing what he's made of.
Yeah. It's always nice to finish off with a great dive as well. Sebastian of Lithuania doing the forward 2.5 full twist, pike position. Good height, a little bit short, but makes a nice entry. Should get some 6.5s of the judges.
Yep, again, the board work is just looking a bit tricky on that one, which affects the entry, but again, no dramas.
Then you've got Arne Rieki again. Back 2.5 pike, following the same setup as his teammate of Finland, Juho. See if he can do a better job than his teammate.
Do you think that's a tactic of the Finnish team there, using the same dive list?
Well, they might be diving synchro.
Oh, yeah?
And doing the same list.
That's it. Let's see if he can match his partner.
Oh, it's a much better top of the dive there. But again, a bit too slow with his legs up to his upper body. And not quite as tight pike position as his teammate, but still a good job of getting that around.
And on to Felix from Sweden. Again, going for the tuck position on this one, the forward 3.5.
It is easier to control, but...
Oh, he delivers.
He delivers, rolls a bit over, and he could point his toes a bit better than in the tuck shape, but a great height, great length on the board, and an entry that is a decent one. Martin ending the 5th round before we go into the last round, and he is doing a forward 2.5 full twist, pike position. And let's see if he can produce the same scores as he did on his reverse dive.
Yeah, and slightly over-rotating on the end. Again, the board work is just struggling from that.
It's so important to reach the end of the board there, and he lands a bit in, and you can see that affecting his technique. And as you can see now, we have Cameron on top with 317 points, Sweden's Jacob on 285 points, and Juho Juntila never leaving the medal contention of 279. And right behind him is Elias of Sweden with 268. So it's going to be a close race here for the medals.
Some high scores after 5 rounds, with one more to go. And oh, this is a big dive.
Oh, Jacob delivers. He saves the best for last. Inward 3.5 tuck position, 3.4, the highest DD of difficulty we've seen so far in this round or this competition.
3.5 somersaults from a standing takeoff as well.
That is
unbelievable.
Showing some great power from Sweden there.
Oh, no messing around from Elias. Straight on with it. We'll want to finish strong.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
look at that height. Perfect distance from the board. Great technique. And an entry that he should be very happy with.
Closes his campaign. Beautiful dive. Straight 7s across the board. The 1 7.5, but that will get taken away.
And Elias ending his competition on 331. 11 points short of his teammate Jacob.
Okay, we have Cameron Gamage now. Current leader.
Can he produce the same composure and same quality as he's been doing the entire competition?
Forward 2.5, 2 twists. In the pike position.
Oh,
and
wow. Makes it look so easy. Great control of the hurdle, the power in his takeoff, and just kicking out, twisting a little bit short, but that's a great job of Cameron there.
You want to close with just a steady dive, don't you? If you're the front runner, you just want to land upright and just finish.
Yes, of course. The nerves he must have had on the last dive there. He delivers, and he keeps his firm grip on the gold medal there with 383 points.
It's going to be tough to beat.
Going for the easy dive, back 2.5 twists.
Wow, very tidy one.
A nice technique on the twist, but he's slipping his legs a little bit in the end there, in the middle of the twist.
Yep. And
might affect the diving scores.
Judges will pick up on that, won't they?
Yeah.
Eagle eyes.
They see everything.
No escaping them. Eh?
You can't cheat your way out of that. Then you got Richard of Sweden ending with a back 2.5 pike position. Let's see if we can end this competition with a
bang.
With a great score. Good takeoff. And just disappears into the water.
My goodness.
Fantastic finish of Richard Roop here.
I can hear them crowd through my headphones there. They're going crazy for that one. Oh, there's not... Literally, you couldn't fit the water in a teacup on that one, eh?
That was a great save. And then we have the former round's third diver.
Respectable performance from you. We wouldn't be too happy with how he's done. I know he would want more, but
he is finishing off with his hardest dive.
Hardest dive here.
Forward 2.5 with 2 twists, pike position, 3.4 difficulty. Let's see if he can keep his composure and balance as he's done through the competition. Great hurdle, powerful, and what an entry!
Wow.
Vertically, straight up and down. Let's roll a little bit over.
We're just seeing exactly what Juho's made of.
We're hearing 7s and we're seeing 7s, and we are liking the 7s. And Juho claiming the second place over Jacob Stoltz of Sweden with just 6 points. It's a close one. Let's see what Darius can do here.
Again, in with 3.5. This is the second time we'll see this now.
Finishing off strong.
Huge tariff on this.
Great power off the board, and this
just so much potential, isn't it?
So much potential. It is great to see that power. Just look how easy he makes a perfect distance from the board, and he just flies over.
Just wants to make sure he looks for that water a bit earlier, but when you're spinning that fast, it's not easy, is it?
It is not, but that is a great rotation there. And then we have Sebastian of Lithuania finishing his last dive of this competition, which is an inward 1.5 pike. Seeing here that the degree of difficulty is very low, and the low risk, high reward pays off with a decent dive to finish off with.
Interesting tactics. Maybe he just doesn't have another harder dive in his list, so he just simplifies it.
That might be.
And you just want to finish that dive a little bit neater on the end.
But great effort from Lithuania here. Very, very great to have them here as well, to see them producing diver after diver.
And we're into our closing stages of the competition now.
Yeah, up to our three last divers. Then you've got Anna of Finland doing the front 2.5 double twist. As he's done all round, he's stepping in on the board and making it really difficult for him to get the rotation and complete his dive. And he reaches out to get that help from the board.
It's just a long way round.
It's a long dive if you land in, yes. A good job of Anna there, finishing off decent, and over to Felix, finishing off with an easier dive than his competitors, as Sebastian of Lithuania with a back 1.5 with 1.5 twist.
Again, leaving this dive till last, so it's clear that he should be very comfortable on this one. Oh, slightly over-rotated there.
Slight over-rotation,
too much power. I mean, he's got good legs, good strength. Could probably put another twist in there.
Great technique there. Maybe the 2.5 twist isn't far off. And then we have Martin of Norway finishing off the entire competition with the last dive, with being a back 1.5, 2.5 twist. Let's see him finish strong, giving the wow factor that we've been seeing throughout this competition.
Not too bad. Good way to close it. It's just a shame on the entry there. Just couldn't quite square it off.
Yeah, great high takeoff there. Comes about a little bit early, doesn't stop the rotation of the twist, and lets it roll over, but that's a great distance from the board. And thank you, divers. Thank you, judges. It has been a treat having you here with us on the live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed the commentating here.
Yep. And what a high standard event. Cameron Gamage, 383 points.
Yeah, 383, closing into almost the Bergen Open record, which is right above 400 points. We are wanting to see all the records being broken eventually, hopefully. We've already had quite a lot of the records being beaten already on the women's side.
Yeah, some strong teams here.
We have the Swedish female Emilia Garib, and she got the record of the 3-meter women yesterday, and we got a secret record. And we are about to finish off here now, and thank you for watching, and please join us for our next competition, which is going to be the women's platform in 20 minutes. Thank you for watching, and see you later.